Hello everyone, Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 6. Here's our disclosure: this content for educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. Investment does involve risk. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and all investments involve risk. Here's our agenda for the week. I'm going to cover the news, provide a market overview of the indices, and we have another banging week of earnings with 549 companies reporting. And what a week we had last week with the majority of the Mag 7 reporting. Here's our week 5 results. We went 4 and 2, no entry on 18 positions. In progress are 3. Those are PayPal, Uber, and Reddit. Here's the outlook for week 6. As you can see, again, a busy week of earnings. Pretty much every day is a busy, jam-packed day. So I did my best to provide you with the companies that I think may meet entry this week. Went ahead and I updated what worked and what didn't work this week, and that brings our total of the year to 18 and 5. Transitioning to the news, as you can see on Monday, we don't have anything impacting anything, either the US markets or the futures markets. And our news will start on Tuesday. We have core retail sales. That's going to be prior to the market open. So you could cause some volatility at the open. So be mindful of that. Then on Tuesday, we have non-farm employment change and unemployment rate. Those are the reports that were supposed to happen Friday due to the government shutdown. However, they're reporting them this Wednesday. So some extra volatility might be on Wednesday morning. This will be at pre-market. So watch your trades during the opening of the market. And then the British pound will be affected after hours for those of you trading futures and Forex. On Thursday, we got unemployment claims, again, pre-market. And then on Friday, we got core CPI, all our CPI reports, and every report that we have this week is going to be pre-market. So pay attention and be mindful at the open if you get into trades. Transitioning into the chart, starting with the SPX, as you can see, our level held beautifully again for the second time. That was the 6785.08 to 6757. No supply on the macro time frame on the SPX or the SPY, so be mindful of that. It will be interesting what happens on the Sunday open. More to follow next week, but again, no supply on the lower time frames. I'm sorry, on the macro time frames, but we do have some supply on the lower time frames. So be mindful of that. Again, our next level being 6717 to 6658.34 on the S&P 500. Moving on to the NASDAQ. For the NASDAQ, you can see we had a bounce at the level I had. I've changed that level from starting at 24,517 to now our demand zone. I'm changing it to 24,238 to 23,877. NASDAQ still a little bit weaker than the S&P 500. Our supply level still intact, 25,882.12 to 26,206.45. Big catalyst this week was Amazon dropping from the 225 area down to 195. Now, moving on to the Dow Jones. As you can see, the Dow Jones is very bullish, stronger than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, meaning there is sector rotation from tech and the mega stocks into value. Our demand zone here is going to be 475.92 to 472.11. Moving on to the rut. The rut bounced off of our demand zone here at 25.8507 to 25.62.37. No supply. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change that. Supply level at 2713.78 to 2736.88. Once again, supply zone 2713.78 to 2736.88. And on the demand side for the rut, this level pretty much worked this week for us. So hot, this is more aggressive now, and we'll wait to see if we come down to the 2487.46 to 2462.28. That's going to do it for the indices. Now, starting with earnings. First company I have for you is going to be Monday, ticker symbol MNDY. And they actually report earnings early morning, so you'll see whether or not these levels hold, and you can trade them on Monday morning. 78.76 to 73 even on the demand side, 123.70 to 133.01 on the supply side. Next company I have for you is going to be ticker symbol ACM, and they report on Monday afternoon. That's going to be Ecom. On the demand side, 91.75 to 82.06. On the supply side, 130.72 to 135.60. Moving on to Tuesday morning, first company I have for you is going to be Coca-Cola, ticker symbol KO, which has been on a tear and has just made all new time highs. First level I have for you is going to be at 71.68 to 69.72, and this just stood out to me right now. You have another level here at 73.66 to 72.19. So two levels on top of one another. They report Tuesday morning. So we'll see if we can come back and get a retest so that we can take Coca-Cola back higher. Next company I have for you is Spotify, ticker symbol SPOT, getting very close to this demand zone, 397.84 to 362.42, and then a subsequent level at 340.05 to 318.80. On the supply side, 766.52 to 786.03. Next company I have for you is going to be CVS, ticker symbol CVS. On the demand side, 65.83 to 61.36. On the supply side, 90.39 to 96.48. Next company I have for you is going to be Datadog, ticker symbol DDOG. On the demand side, 102.73 to 96.19. In the event of an overshoot, 79.09 to 74.92. On the supply side, 156.41 to 163.48. Next company I have for you is going to be S&P Global. On the supply side, 521.14 to 541.37. On the demand side, 394.53 to 379.96. Next company I have for you is going to be Ferrari, ticker symbol RACE. On the demand side, 305.68 to 293.47. On the supply side, 367.62 to 381.77. Moving on to Tuesday after the market. First company I have for you is Robinhood, ticker symbol Hood, taking a beating pretty much at the beginning of the year this year, falling down pretty much from 153 and almost 50%. On the demand side, 67.01 to 62.37, a subsequent level at 51.19 to 45.51. And we got supply at 104.81 to 110.97 with a subsequent level at 114.7 to 124.95. Next company I have for you is going to be Ford, ticker symbol F. On the supply side, $14.93 to $15.40, and on the demand side, $9.71 to $9.20. Next company I have for you is going to be Lyft, ticker symbol LYFT. On the demand side, 13.21 to 12.01, with a subsequent level at 11.30 to 10.61, and on the supply side, all the way up here at 33.96 to 46.55. Next company I have for you is going to be Cloudflare. All right, yeah, ticker symbol NET. On the demand side, you can see this level already worked and hit, so be mindful of this level, 160.19 to 150.28, with a subsequent level at 126.59 to 116.93, and I have no supply for you in this company. Moving on to Wednesday morning, first company I have for you is going to be Shopify. On the demand side, 88.21 to 78.17. On the supply side, 136.04 to 144.34. Next company I have for you is going to be Humana, ticker symbol HUM. On the supply side, 263.57 to 274.89. On the demand side, 177.42 to 163.01. Next company I have for you is going to be Kraft Heinz, ticker symbol KHC. On the demand side, 22.25 to 19.6. And on the supply side, very far away. No supply for you right now. There is, but it's just so far away. There's no need to call that out. Next company I have for you is going to be T-Mobile, ticker symbol TMUS. On the demand side, 183.92 to 170.88. On the supply side, 257.84 to 264.21. Next is McDonald's, ticker symbol MCD, also taken off as of late. No supply at McDonald's. They just made an all-new time high this past week. First demand zone I have for you is going to be at 308.95 to 302.53. Moving on to Wednesday after the market, first company I have for you is going to be App Lovin', ticker symbol APP. On the demand side, 309.43 to 287.26. On the supply side, 539.35 to 580.28. Next company I have for you is going to be Albemarle, ticker symbol ALB. No supply for you in this company. First demand zone I have for you is at 148.89 to 140.08 with a subsequent level at 136.09 to 129.38. Next company I have for you is going to be HubSpot, ticker symbol HUBS. On the demand side, 153.04 to 88.19. On the supply side, 457.21 to 499.70. Next company I have for you, and starting with Thursday morning pre-market, is going to be Nebius, ticker symbol NBIS. Be mindful that this level has already worked, 73.25 to 62.19, and then we have a subsequent level at 57.03 to 43.89, and the supply side is going to be 134.30 to 141.70. Next company I have for you is Crocs, ticker symbol CROX. On the demand side, 72.59 to 66.50. And on the supply side, 102.74 to 106.07. Moving on to Thursday after the market, first company I have for you is Coin. They've been taking a beating as such as Bitcoin this year. Be mindful this level has worked already, and be mindful that Bitcoin is still weak unless we see some recovery this week. 150.36 to 136.21. Take that level with caution. First, the demand zone I have for you is 100.18 to 88.06. On the supply side, 283.28 to, let's call it 265, and then on a subsequent level at 265 to 285. Next company I have for you is going to be Arista, ticker symbol ANET. Pretty much staying between the supply and demand zones. Let's change this as this right there. Matter of fact, let's do that. On the demand side, 114.48 to 106.93, and this is our supply, 150.88 to 157.08. Be mindful that this level has worked already, so utilize it with caution, and let's just change it while we're here. And we're going to go 157.63 to 165.31. Next company I have for you is going to be Rivian, ticker symbol RIVN. Staying between our supply and demand zones all year. Supply 23.16 to 24.63. Demand 10.35 to 9.54. Next company I have for you is going to be JFrog, ticker symbol FROG. On the demand side, 35.72 to 33.36. On the supply side, 65.13 to 68.56. Next company I have for you is going to be DraftKings, ticker symbol DKNG. On the demand side, be mindful that this has worked already, 25.09 to 22.20 with a subsequent level at 19.53 to 16.95. On the supply side, 41.35 to 44.45. And the last company I have for you this week is going to be Advanced Auto Parts, ticker symbol AAP. On the demand side, 31.22 to 23.94. And on the supply side, 83.21 to 88.73. Gonna do it for me in the charts this week. If you're not doing so already, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me on social media. Email me if you want to learn more about what services we provide. Until next time, happy trading, and I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl and see everybody next week.